Well, this is a little impromptu, but I thought I'd do a little tutorial on how to use my boy Roll20 here. I'm probably a bit late to the party since this mass joining of online D&D was months ago, but I'll show you my tips, my tips and tricks, my chickies, trips and chips, tricks and tips with Roll20. This is how I use this bad boy, and I've been using it for years. This is my second profile with nearly 800 hours. My other one's got like thousands, like 2,000-3,000. Man, I play Roll20 a lot. Not sponsored or anything. I'm not sponsored by these boys. Yeah, maybe Roll20, hit me up. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. Say no more. And I'll kind of just go step by step what you would do when starting. I assume if you're not already joining a game or making one, just assume you got a link from your friend to join a Roll20 game, or you're the DM going to make one. So you slap the create a new one. Now, rather than just smacking, yes, I'm ready, you got to give it a name. I probably already have a test one called test, where I just do random stuff. Optional, choose a character sheet. Ain't optional, you got to do it. It's brilliant. Now, I'm assuming you're using this for 5th edition, because that's what I use it for. You can find anyone here has a character sheet that they've set up, but I'm going to help you with 5th edition, because that's what I use. Find 5th edition. Now, there's a bunch. There's shaped scrolls made by plenty, but let's see what Roll20. And they give you a little preview of what the sheet's going to look like. It's going to be brilliant. This is the one I use, so this is one I'll teach you about. Now, if you're the DM, you've already done this, and you can slap invite players, give them the link, and join in. But you could choose a little picture for your test thing, just drag it in there. That's what people will see when they're on the games tab or something. You just jump in here. You can plan games in that section as well. Set a time. It auto sets the time for whoever's time zone it is. It's really nice. Often, you'll come up down here. Your little webcam and your mic will be on. First thing you do if you don't want that, jump into settings up here in the top right, scroll all the way down, and you want to broadcast nothing. What I like to do also is, while I'm here, is the avatar and video size. Chuck that down to small. It kind of minimizes the pictures. You can make them bigger if you do have webcams, I suppose. That's better, because you can see each other bigger, but you can chuck it to names only as well. Good if you're streaming or something, you want more space for the canvas, if you're cropping stuff. But small is usually what I do. You probably have to reconnect to stop all the options and do everything. But yeah, so you're here. You got a blank canvas. You got all these, you have a start, you can add as many as you want, you can come in, you can change the settings, change the background to whatever color, grid size, you can change it from squares to hexes, you can do a lot. Dynamic lighting is a thing you can get if you pay a subscription. I don't need it, I don't use it. I'm in games where it's there, and it does make a bit of a pretty difference, but if you don't use maps, then you won't really need it at all. If you use maps, it's a luxury. Legacy lighting, you can enable fog of war. Let's just do that. I crank that up so I can see it more as a DM. I like to know what's hidden and what's not. And you can just bada bing over here to reveal. You got all these options. If you're the dude, you got reveal. You can reveal where people want to see. If you want to do like around corners, like you got a hill, you can do that, lad. And that's what the players will see. That everything else will just be black. So what happens when you have players, right? They got to have sheets. So if you jump into journal, top right, and slap add, you can give them a character. Auto generates a name. You can just be like, here you go. This is player 1. You put it in the person's journal via here. For now, we'll put it in all players so everyone can see it, and it can be controlled and edited by. You give that to the single player. You'll always be able to edit it. You're the DM. They can put a picture here. You can put a token there, if that's what you want, but we'll come back to this where you can like make it a bit prettier. Bio and info, you can put stuff here, and let's say we want to do something cool here. All right, so we'll use my recent dude as a little example. I can drag my character in here, and then the little picture will come up. This is a kobold I played recently. Berserk has a cool buster blade. Yeah, so once you do that, save as, and they will be able to see, and you will be able to see character sheet. Now you can use the character mancer, which is like a pre-generated, auto does it for you. You can go through all this, go next, you choose a race, you can choose an alignment, gives you all the deets, sub-race, you get the rock gnome, class, you go through here. But this only has what they have in the starter rule set. The SRD, I assume, is that what that stands for. So you can only have what's in that, which is limiting, and unless you pay on Roll20 for the books and link it to the game, you can't really have that. So I tend to do the other. If you choose no, don't use Charactermancer, then it will just give you this. Now you're the player, so you want to be like, this is my character Jimmy. You choose a class here. All the classes are there as a preset. You get your stats. So first thing you do when you have a character is get your stats. In the chat menu, with simple codes like /R or /roll, you can type in 4d6, the classic way you roll, right? That's the 4d6, the hero stats. This is all very unscripted. I hope that isn't noticeable. But you got this 4 dice. 4d6, drop the lowest, terrible 8. Oh wow. Or 9 rather, math. Sometimes we like to cheat and not, have to do quick math like 10 take 1. Sometimes you don't like that. So if you hit up, that gives us the last thing you typed in chat. Now if we throw down K1, I think it is, 4d6 K1, that's K1. No, I lied to you, D1. That's all, I'm always thinking it's K1 or D1. It's K3, I think. But it's D1 if you want to automatically drop the lowest. So there's a bunch of little chat codes you can use, a bunch of different ways to roll. You can roll like 10,000 D20, but don't, it like crashes the game. Don't be that guy. But yeah, so now we can do this to get all our stats. We'll even it out and be like, yeah, this is where the new stats come in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got your 6 stats. You come over to your thing, you put them all in. I'm not even going to bother looking to make sure they're the same. You probably want to, or your team will get angry. Simple stuff, man. Like, this is a character sheet. You probably know how to make a character. This isn't about making a character. This is about Roll20. To do a level 1, you can actually quickly come into the compendium up here, this little eye, grab the class fighter, and just drag him in. A lot of this from the compendium is drag and drop capable. So that auto puts in all your proficiencies. It auto gives you your first ability, which is second wind. It's brilliant. It gives you a little tally for your second wind you can keep up and down. And a lot of this is just click to use, right? If you want to use strength, highlight strength, click it. Auto rolls it for you. Advantage, disadvantage. If you want a little tip from me, go into this cog here. This is a lot of the inner workings. Ignore all of it. Top right here. Wall queries, advantage toggle. That's going to be a brilliant one. So go back to your core. You have advantage, disadvantage, normal. You can easily roll a saving throw with disadvantage. Auto disadvantages it for you. What else do we need? We need a sword. We'll go into the compendium, look up our sword. We want an item. We want a greatsword. Drag and drop the greatsword. Puts it in our item list, and it gives us an attack for it. Already fully set up to do everything you do with a greatsword. Again, they're here. To roll it, you click it in your inventory. In the chat, it will come up. We've got a 14 with no disadvantage. We would have got a 23. Mad good. But then to roll the damage, you just click on it in the chat. See, it lights up red. Click it. It'll roll the damage. If you want to test out what your stuff does, you click a little speech bubble. It'll post it. Everyone sees what you're going to use. Good and simple. Change your AC. Bada bing. I got like splint mail on. That's alright. Yeah, so most stuff here, if it has a name, chances are you can click it. Now let's say you're a caster. This dude might be a fighter, but you might have a spell. You might take magic initiate. You never know. Now this is where it gets a little bit iffy. Some of the spells are in the compendium. You want firebolt? Search fire. Gives you everything fire related. You get firebolt. Click and drag it in. Gives you firebolt. Like before, click it. It'll cast it. Some spells aren't in there, and that's when it gets a bit up to you to add it in. You click the new one, you preferably open up a website that has the spell and copy and paste it in. If it's an attack, you can change this to attack to give it damage and its type. The description, if it's just a normal spell with a description and all that stuff. Same thing with things here. Let's say you have a flame tongue. Great sword. Yeah, maybe you found it. The compendium might probably have it, actually. It does. It has a flame tongue. Well, let's get rid of him. Let's just say it's not in the compendium. You can come up here to your attacks and spellcasts. If you hit the little lock here, it'll allow you to move them up and down and also delete them. Padlock it to make sure you don't accidentally do that. Hit the plus on anything to add. Hit level 2, you can put Action Surge in here. And you can change where you got it from your class. Level 2 fighter. And up here, level 2. Bada bing. But yeah, say you want to add your Flame Tongue Greatsword. Non-scripted. I'm brilliant. It's brilliant, isn't it? Come in here. Flame Tongue boy. It's a strength base because it's a greatsword. You can change it to dex if it has finesse. Int if you have like one of those weird wizard skills that lets you roll melee attacks with int. Or if it's a spell. Maybe you're casting a firebolt. Click for if you're proficient. Assume you are, you're a fighter. Add anything here if you have it. If you're like an archer with archery and you have that archery bonus, +2 to hit. Add the range if you have it. Magic bonus if it's like a +1 weapon. It'll have a +1 attack and damage. That's how you do that, boy. Quit range. If you're like a champion fighter, you can put this to 19. So, 19 on crits. Damage is the 2d6 plus strength. Slashing plus the 2d6 fire. So now when you roll your flame tongue, normal hit rolls the slashing and the fire separately. Good stuff. You do all that for your character. I assume you know how to set up a character. So let's say you are the DM. You want to make some goblins or something. You can go here, go add character. Gives you a character. You can put in a little picture of a goblin. And you could be like, this is Goblin. It's not in players' journals because they haven't seen it. But once they do see it, you can click show to players. And it'll pop it up for them. It'll show it on their screen. Like it'll pop up in front of them and be like, hey, this is Goblin. This is what you're fighting. They won't have access to it. Don't worry. Character sheet. Here again. Character Mancer, no. You want to make it an NPC. This is a non-player character. And this will give you this. This is a much smaller, much more compact character sheet, basically. Open the cog. You can put in, it's a goblin. And then you can go through the mess of filling out all this. It's a small guy. It's got 14 armor class because it's wearing leather. It's speed's 30 feet. Oh, just I've got to set up all its skills and all its stuff. I've got to give it languages. Oh, is it a spellcaster? Oh, it sucks. I hate it. Me too. Roll20's got you. Go into the compendium. You want a goblin? Search a goblin. What's this? A monster goblin? I could drag it in. The goblin's set up. It's got all this stuff. I want to use a short bow. I can use a short bow. Oh no. What if you want to keep the secrets to yourself? What if you want to keep the goblin's secrets to yourself? If you go in here, you can, the wall queries. You can also give this the advantage toggle. You can make it so it always whispers to the DM. Whispering means it's only to you. You can make it a query. So query just means whenever you roll something will pop up like, hey, do you want to do it this way or that way? Toggle just means on the top of the sheet it'll be like, which one? Auto roll damage, I often like to have it auto roll damage just so if there's like 1,000 goblins, you don't want to have to go through and click down here, click attack after they've done it and to get their damage out. You just want to get all of it out in one click. And you can make it so the name shows or not. Hide it if you don't want them to know who the dude is. Maybe it's a mysterious guy and you don't want it to be like Glenn the Necromancer stabs you. It's just, ooh, you get stabbed. And again, not everything's going to be in that compendium. Unless you buy the monster manual on Roll20 and add it in your game. Unless you buy the player handbook and add it to your game. Not everything's going to be in there. But a lot is. And if you don't mind filling stuff out, none of that will really matter to you. You can also add it in and edit this. So like you can be like, oh, this is a more dexterous dude. He's really dexterous. He's got a lot of dex. Watch out for his skimmy. I can go into his tax, edit that, so it's not +2 anymore, it should be +4. Yeah, so you made your goblin, you made your boy. They're both in characters, you don't want that at all. You can add another folder then you can drag the goblin into there. You can make a separate thing for goblins inside here. You right-click it, subfolder. Goblinoids. Drag them into the goblinoids. Once told, a tidy journal, it's a tidy game. Easy peasy. You can add handouts. Click and add, handout. It starts it as a mysterious note. Love it. You can come in here, give it a little picture, say it's like a sword. You can click and drag a little sword in here, be like, this is your Flame Tongue Greatsword. It has all the stats of what a Flame Tongue Greatsword can do, so they can just click on this, be like, oh, that's my little handout for my item. It could be a mysterious, however you spell that. And you add a little picture of a note. You don't need to. It has this little free symbol with the info on it. This is Uis. This is mysterious. And then you can just, again, click show to players, and it will give it to them. What if you don't want everyone to see it? Well, in the journals, you can select the specific person you want to see it. So, maybe Jimmy here is the only one who has it, so only Jimmy can see it. Give it to others if he shows it. A lot of secrets you can be doing. Let's say you want to do the fun part of Roll20. You want to start doing the combat, you want to start doing the map stuff, which is where I think Roll20 kind of really shines. I love using the map feature on Roll20. Now, you could just leave it a blank little screen here and be like, well, here's like a crate. Here's another crate. You can be as, you could put a lot of razzmatazz into your maps as you want. I like to be very visual when it comes to my D&D games. I like giving people maps. So, in Roll20, if you're the DM, in the art library, you can search for a lot of stuff. You can search for grass. It'll give you, like, cool grass. These are 2 cool grasses I have. 2-minute tabletop, by the way. Amazing map stuff. Also not sponsored by him, but my god, he's got some good free assets. So, you make your map, drag out your grass patch. Again, people can only see what's in this little section. So you can hide all your little tokens off this side, all your goblins that you're going to drag in. As DM, you can also right-click, go through all this stuff, delete it, copy, paste it, move it front or backwards. This is a map sync thing, so you want to throw it to the map layer. You can also get there from this little section. Should probably talk about this now. Little selector and panner, you can grab and move things if they're on the right layer. To get to the right layer, you have this. You can go to the map background, so you can move everything on the map without moving all the tokens and stuff. Keep it all neat. GM layer, you can hide all your tokens on this layer so you know what's there, but they don't. They can't see it. It's your layer. Hide little text boxes here so you can be like, oh, roll this many goblins when they show up, or put a little dialogue here so you don't have to keep other notes somewhere else. GM the overlay to make them show up or very faint. It's like a little transparency thing. Like if I put this here on the GM layer, it's like kind of faded and you can see through it. And you can make that either very solid or incredibly faint. It's really nice. A little drawing thing. You can draw shapes, fill in shapes. Let's go back onto the token layer. Draw little boxes. You can have like a little background but still be like, oh, there's that, or here's some, like, blood. Someone died here. Oh, no. It's gross. A little zoomy thing. Can choose many zooms. I guess I never really use this. Little measuring tool. So, say, you're here. You want to shoot that. That's 50 feet away. Awesome. I want to run over here. That's 30 feet. You can do that. Most people can. Unless you're a dwarf. Oh. Your little reveal tool. Again, so you can choose. Let's reveal all that to the players so they can see it. Hide areas to cast it back into the shadows. Maybe they go into another room, you want to hide the previous room. And polygon reveal, choose a area to reveal. No polygon hide, I guess. Turn order. When you start combat, click this. This pops up for everyone. Everyone knows stuff's going around. Turn order's up. Oh no. But we'll get back to him once we start a fake fight, right? Little dice roller. You can, roll this to the GM, whatever that is. Want it to be loud or... I don't know. Click them and see what they do. I don't. But, yeah, you can use this to roll just about any kind of thing. You want to roll 5d100? Roll 5d100. You want to roll a d12? Roll 2d12 or just 1d12. Yeah, for simple rolls, that's what you do. Or you can come down and type in /r d10. That'll roll a d10 as well. You want to roll a d10 plus 7 or 6, because I hit 6. You just type it in, it'll do it for you. It's a lot of cool. A D9, you can't roll it. There's no such thing, but you can make it a thing. You can force it to be a thing. Little help, if you need help, I know I do. Just click open docs, report a bug, something doesn't seem right. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. So, you kind of got a map ready. You've gone through your assets. You want a tree, you can search tree and be like, ooh, that's a nice tree, I like this tree. There's a tree here now. I can make it as big as I want, I can rotate it, if you double click it, you can tint it, which I think is nice. It kind of looks ugly with most colours, but, tint it black and it'll be kind of darker. You tint everything black, it'll look like an eye. Little map tricks and tips. Bottom right one's transparent. So, no tint. Oh yeah, say you want to start a fight. You have your characters, you have your NPCs, you got your goblinoids, and you want to get everyone on the field and start using these squares that you got. Now if you come over to your characters, click on the name, drag him out, it'll place him there. Now with it drawn like this and transparent, that kind of looks fine. Goblin doesn't have one. What? Oh, it's just a blank thing? That's kind of gross. I don't like that. I want actual goblin things, and I want actual circly tokens for what I'm using. Let's get him out of here. Also, when you put something, layer, you can throw it to different layers, so if you have all your goblins on the GM layer, jump on the GM layer, right click them, throw them on the token layer, be like, oh, there they appear. Oh no. But yeah, take your boys, get them out of here. If you go into your folders, go into a website or something, make a little token for a goblin, make a little token for the characters that they've sent you, you find them, you drag them on to the field. Only you can do this as a GM. If anyone else drags something into here, it'll just open that as a picture. I've done it before. But you make a little dude here. You resize them so they're the size you want them to be. If this is their picture, you can just do this from here. You drag them out, and it's the same thing at this point. So you double-click the one you want to make as a token, open it up to here. Now you want to be like, this represents Jimmy. If it's the picture they already have, it'll automatically do that. It already represents them. So you can skip that step. So this token now represents Jimmy. Show the nameplate. You want to make sure people know this is Jimmy. Player permissions. Everyone can see that it's Jimmy. But they can't edit it because they don't own Jimmy. This first bar, a green bar, let's make that HP. And that will make it his health. Yeah, so 20 health. 20 health in his little bar. He's got that ready. You want to make a second bar, maybe his like AC or something. 17. You can see it whenever you click on him. You can be like, oh, blue's his AC. I don't have to ask him 1,000 times. Does that hit? What's your AC? You just know. Just click on him. And red, maybe for like some temp health, if you want to set that up. It can be whatever you want it to be, really. And a little triple dot, you can make it so other players can see how much health he has. It only really works as a bar. They will never really see his AC because they can't click on him because it's not their character. But yeah, so you've set him up. You got him his Jimmy, you got his health above him, but you want it to be what happens when he drags his character out. Because right now when he drags him out, he just gets this still. And even if you had set this up to be Jimmy, you set it all up. That's his HP, that's his AC, save. When you drag him out, oh, it's not saved. What the heck? What's going on? I hate that. You bring it open, slap at it, highlight the one you want to be his token, and then you select it. So that's why dragging and dropping your own token can sometimes be kind of nice. They might want their full picture here, but when they drag out their character, it'll be their token. And you also have to edit a little once you have special lighting on. You might have to set their dark vision range. I don't have paid stuff, so I'm not sure how to do that. I'm sure you can find a tutorial for that. But you have one side of the party ready. You have all the players. They're ready when they jump out to fight. But little goblin, you don't have him yet. Maybe you don't need to have his picture different. You could probably just skip that and have that as a regular goblin. A couple of goblin tokens, and you can just click and drag it straight in to the avatar. Now your goblin has a little picture. When you drag him out, that will be his little symbol on the map once he drags out. I guess he's loading. Give him a second, fellas. Yeah, so you have a goblin, but they don't have health or anything yet, just like when Jimmy did. So you go into him, they know he's a goblin, sure, let them see it. You don't have to let them see it, you can just keep them guessing. You can maybe use red for the enemy's health, So, HP. He's got 7 health. 7 out of 7. AC, because, always good to know what an enemy's AC as well when you click on him. Green you can maybe use for his CR or his experience he gives. And you can even compact the health to make it just one slim bar without the numbers above it. And if you want, you can let the players see their health if you like them knowing how much health stuff has left. Not everyone does, so I can see why you might not. But yeah, so that belongs to the goblin. Let's open up the goblin sheet. Let's go in. Let's save that as the goblin. That's going to be great. So now, before you go any further, when you drag out all these goblins, guess what's going to happen? This got me 100% of the time when I started out. You've done all this, you've set up like 100 enemy tokens, and Jimmy here runs up and hits this one goblin. Let's say he does like 3 damage. You click on this dude, 7, take 3. What's that? Got 7, 6, 5, 4. He's got 4 health. Don't bother. Click on it. -3. Hit enter. What just happened? Whoa. Can we get a zoom in? Can we get a zoom in on that? All of them just took the damage. What? That sucks! See, what we did was we set the token to the HP attribute of the goblin, which when we change it here, changes it directly in here. And I hate it. It got me. I had like 20 things set up. Set this to none. Set it to nothing, and just set it as what the health is. Now the AC you can do this for as well. If they have different AC, some might have shields, you might want to change it. If they knock away a shield, if they're not using it. It's often best just to leave these as none if it's not a player or a singular NPC. Like maybe this is Captain Big Man, and you want him to be... No, there's not 2 of him. It doesn't matter if... There would never be 2 of him on the map. But now, you gotta go all the way back in, go to everything, remove the old dumb token where all the health's linked, and grab this new one. Save as. Bada bing. Alright. Now, once you drag him out, each one has separate health. Take 4 off him, everyone keeps their max. The world is a safe place once again. Let's bring it back. Jimmy here was just walking, and let's just say 3 goblins jumped out from the bush. We're doing a little test run here. Oh no, here's the goblins. Oh, Jimmy, it doesn't matter, you have the alert feed, you can't be surprised. But guess what? You gotta roll initiative. Slap it. He's like, oh damn, battle's on. You can even come up here into the jukebox and find some music, add a playlist. Sure. I don't use this. I just use Groovy on Discord. Battle music starts playing in Discord because you don't use the jukebox. Jimmy's like, oh, alright, I'll jump onto my character sheet and I'll hit initiative. First blunder. Stop here. You've made a mistake. Exactly. It tells you. You wanted to send the result of this to the turn tracker, but no token was selected. And it didn't come up here. Big thing right here. You gotta select your boy first. Highlight your dude. Slap your initiative. It'll roll it, and then throw it on the initiative. But what if your first roll was better? I like that better. That's way better than 12. Guess what? DM will probably let you. But if you come over here, do a little sneaky, click on your own little initiative here, you can change it. You own this. This is yours. Make it 2 million if you want. I'm going first. They ain't going ever. But you're the DM now. You're like, oh, there's so many enemies on the field. I got Goblin, I got Hobgoblin, I got Bugbear. I have to go through all this and find them in my many notes? Nah, buddy. Alt, double click, brings up their sheet. Double click the name up here, it minimizes it. You can keep it in the corner. Not their turn, minimize them. Their turn, double click, they're up. Accidentally closed it. No, don't worry. Alt double click. Players, this works on you too. You want your sheet? There's your sheet. Now, most maps will be at the top left when you join in. If you want to drag someone over and you're the DM, like say the battle's down in the right, if you shift and hold click with the pen, the select move, it'll like ping them down here and it'll drag everyone's attention down here. Players, you can also just hold and click the pan to do a little ping. You can annoy everyone just by pinging over and over, and it's brilliant, it's good fun, but you can't shift ping. You don't get that privilege. But now you got to go in, and as an NPC, you got to click the name to roll initiative. That always got me. I never really knew that was a thing. But you click the name, make sure you've selected it as well. Rolled it to you. They got a 20. Got to select this one as well. Goblin, roll to 20, gotta select this one as well. And they're all on. Or you could just click one and they all work as a hive mind. We know we do it. It's sometimes just easier. And once they've all rolled, you can come to this and order numerically by descending. So who got first gets first. Let's put him to 18 because that's what he got. Numerically. And we can see who's going first. You highlight it, it shows you which one it is as well. It's awesome. It's convenience. Combat goes so much smoother once you know all this. So, it's the turn started. Music's kicked up. Goblin, this one, runs over. Click and grab your dude. Hit Q. Gives you a little line. Only you can see this because you're doing this. He can run 15. Easy. But what if you want to, run around a corner? It's here, but then here. If you hit Q again, puts a little check mark. Still 20 feet. He wants to run over his buddy for some reason. I don't have a sheet up, doesn't matter. Alt double click. I want to skimmy him. Click skimmy. 15, 17. Does that hit you, Jimmy? I don't know. Yeah, just hits. Awesome. Take 6 damage, Jimmy. Take 6. I got 14 health. Auto does it on his sheet. It's already automatically updated. He changes it here. It changes it on his token. Now, I can't see the name. What do? Right click Jimmy to front. Pop him in front. Want this dude to be in front? Put him to the front. Put him to the back. Quick shortcuts. It's wicked. And then you just go through turn as normal. So much stuff. Get rid of it. I don't like it. Next goblin. This one. He's gonna flank on you because you're dumb. Double click. It's so quick. Skimmy. You got 18 and 7. I know that's not your AC. You're dying, man. You're dying. You took 7. And you took 6. Jimmy, you're dying. And then he disadvantages. He disengages because he can. Runs into the shadows. You can't see him anymore. What am I doing? Now, a lot of this you can kind of find out just by poking and prodding around. Right? You click on something, you want to know what it does, just click it. It'll pop up. That's another way to get into the settings without double clicking them. It's, GM notes, only you can see it. It tells you. You can figure this out. It's not as scary as it looks. The learning curve is it's like a step. It's just a step. This isn't hard. Things just get better and better as you go on. Maybe you don't want to keep having to open the sheets to roll initiative. This is one thing I've done. Sometimes you just want to help out new players, right? Imagine a new player, you have to tell them to highlight their thing and then click initiative. Sometimes it's confusing, having to click on this to roll the damage. I have to click on Firebolt? I already clicked Firebolt. And you gotta explain, no, in chat, you gotta click the Firebolt. To help them, you might want to go in to their character, and this is a little pro tip here. You come in here, don't worry about all this. This is just, you've gone behind the curtain at this point. In here, you give them a little ability here. Click on little edit, and make this initiative. And all you gotta do is throw in this little code here, a percentage, curly bracket, selected, line. I don't know what that's called, whatever the button next to the brackets is, shift that. I've never really figured out what that long line means. Now, a lot of this will be in the description. I'll be sure to add this, if my mouse will I'll be sure to add this in the description, if you don't want to just copy it there. That line might get you. And then you hit tick, and make this show as a token action. Now, whenever Jimmy clicks on his character, in the top left here will be initiative. And he can just click that. He doesn't have to go to his sheet to click it. And, you don't have to tell him that you got to highlight your character and then do it. It'll just be there whenever he clicks his character. You can set up anything this way. If you know the code, they're kind of confusing. You can Google a lot of them. You can set up just about any action as a little macro here. And moreover, you can do this for your goblins. You can just make this init, paste it there, tick as a token action. Now all the goblins, when you click them, will have a little initiative thing. You don't have to open their sheet. But that's one way you can speed up combat. Combat rolls in, you want to roll combat pretty quickly. You don't want to have to sit there rolling initiative for everything, and then the hype's already gone by that point. You just oh no, combat started. Goblins jump out at you. You have alert. You're fine. Roll initiative, and then you just go bam, 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 they roll bam, and you got all your initiatives ready. It's speed. Speed's the game. I'm not overly sure what else I could go over right now. In terms of most stuff, the rest should be pretty simple. This little page toolbar, you can have different little things set up for different areas. This could be the start screen, so you could have some little splash image of your game. Maybe the same one you use for the game icon at the start. So it's just something to look at while everyone's idling around. You could make this the tavern. Make sure you hit enter. And then in here, you set up a nice little tavern with a bunch of seats under the grid. You want to drag everyone over, the players just bada bing. You drag the players to that screen, they fade over and see it. What screen you're looking at isn't always the same one the players are looking at. If you want just one person to go over someone, maybe you're doing a dream sequence and you've set up something for that. You click and drag the little icon or name down here onto that screen, and only they will go. And you want to put them back with the rest, just drag them onto the players thing. That's a cool one. Again, Roll20 has a lot of free art assets that you can use to make maps. I like using them. They're free and simple. You want a chair? There's a chair. But not everything, sadly, will be in this little thing, and oftentimes you'll find some very weird stuff when you search very weird things. Sometimes it works better than other days. But, yeah, not overly sure what else I really need to cover. You can enlarge and shrink dudes. You can do just about whatever you want. You can click on them. This thing's little status symbols. When they're dead, you can cross them out. Here's a sleep. Here's a tired boy. Holding Alt lets you place off of the grid. That's a nice one. Just lets you kind of sneak around corners and whatnot. Sitting at a table of swords. Just maybe they've reconciled. They put away their differences. They no longer have to fight. They don't. Everyone just wants a little friend. If there's anything else you would really like to know, or if there's anything that confuses you, I'm sure you can find it somewhere. Or I can make like a sequel to this, and we can talk about the more nuanced things of stuff that might be confusing. Other systems as well, other character sheets. I know they might be a bit confusing, but as long as you kind of give it a sit down, give it a few minutes, click on some things that confuse you, you can kind of figure out what they do. You can jump in here. I'm sure you can, you get an item that gives you a +1 strength save. Just add it in here. Second class, you bet. I multi-classed into a barbarian. It's awesome. I'm a rogue and I have expertise in athletics for some reason. Just gotta put it in there. You're a bard, you get jack of all trades. Make a custom class. You're going online, you're like, hey DM, can I use something different? Sure, just, custom class. I'm a bad dude with a D12 and my spellcasting ability's strength. It's weird. I get full spell slots. You can mess with a lot. You get a magic item with an extra spell slot. I'm just riffing at this point. A lot of this is click and drag, accessible. You don't really have to worry about it much. GMs gotta put in a little bit of work. You can make stuff look real pretty, but yeah, you can really do a lot with old Roll20 here. So don't discount it, honestly. You got some good stuff in here. Maps are only really just one thing I love about them. The rest, just the convenience of having all the characters here. You can jump on it, all the rolling. It's just, I like it. And I hope this kind of helps you take the little step it takes to learn this stuff, because it's really good. I've been using it for years. But yeah, if you got any other questions, any little parts of it that confuse you, drop it in the comments. I'll probably reply. I keep an eye out there. And I do hope this helps you start some games on here.